Oh, yeah. YouTube was good. It's your boy, Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. We are here for you. Yes. Welcome to a brand new segment known as the DeLorean of Doom.
Yes,
dun, dun, dun,
Great Scott.
Excellent.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey.
Hey. I am your boy, Jody Joe. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. This is a segment that was created by my man, D-Man over there, man. Hey, congratulations, my brother. Hey, that's a great name for a great segment, bro.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
How you doing, by the way?
I'm doing fine. Early, but hey, gotta get it.
You look good, bro.
Thank you, sir. I actually cleaned it up this morning.
Yeah, you did. Roland is here, man. How you doing? Good morning, bro.
I'm good, bro. Triple. What's up, everybody?
Are you excited about talking about this?
I feel great, man. I see John Carpenter's Halloween on the back TV, man. This is dope.
Yeah, man.
This is great.
Good.
Vintage, nostalgia.
Thriller. Horror fans,
terror.
unite.
Y'all never see the
Horror
boogie.
fans unite.
What's up, everybody?
Well, yeah, like I said, this is a segment that was brought to you by D-Man, where the segment is really. Do you want to explain it, what it is? Yeah, just so the fans will know.
Yeah, sure. So basically, what the DeLorean of Doom is when. Push this mic. Oh,
there we go. Oh yeah, right in your mouth. Yeah, I saw it touch your lip and everything, bruh.
So basically, what the DeLorean of Doom is, we are going to be revisiting classic horror movies, and you guys, the subscribers, will have a chance to vote and tell us what movies you would like for us to review.
Hey.
So they'll get a chance to hop in the DeLorean with us, gun it back into the past, and then go check out some horror movies. And right next to us is a kind of teaser to
what is that? What do you got here, man? You got something on the table, man. I see it's a huge box set.
Yes,
it looks like there's about 8 movies in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
So
Halloween Ultimate Collection.
The Halloween
Complete
Ultimate Collection.
Yeah.
The Complete Collection 15 disc deluxe edition.
Yes,
Go ahead and hold that up for them to see.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Oh boy. Oh
Yeah,
boy.
another shot of that.
This belongs
Awesome.
to Roman the
Some cool little
Collector.
artwork. Yeah, man. Shout out to Screen Factory, man. I highly recommend this one. This is the box set to get, the 15 disc deluxe edition. This is the one to get. It's great.
Yeah, I just
A lot
got
of good
some
stuff
Screen
in there.
Factory products too.
So you got Halloween. Just name a list of the films that are coming out.
So you got Halloween, John Carpenter's original. Then you got Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, Halloween 5, The Revenge. Then you got The Curse of Michael Myers. Then you got H2O, Resurrection. Then the Rob Zombie installments, and then that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So Rob Zombie installments. Okay, so that's
1 and 2.
When did this come out?
So this came out probably about like 4 or 5 years ago.
All right.
Before there was even talks of them doing a 2018 film. So
Right,
this is
right.
before then. It was in talks. Nothing was official yet.
Got you.
But this came out after the Rob Zombie films had ended. So this is like years later, and they decided to repackage everything. Certain films have bare bones copies, and then they came out with single-handed editions, and they were like, let's put this in a box set. And the difference with this one is that Part 6 had the theatrical cut and the producer's cut. The producer's cut of Michael Myers, The Curse of Michael Myers, had bootlegs going around for decades. They never officially released it. It was always a DVD bootleg that you had to go on eBay and get. And then people had dubbed it off VHS when, back in the day, recording and stuff.
Yeah.
So Screen Factory was like, you know what, we got to officially put this out. So they finally released it, and you get the full-on producer's cut with the alternate ending, with the theatrical. So it was like brand new HD and everything.
Well,
and you can only
man.
get that in this one.
That's nice. That shows that they had a lot of care and appreciation for the fans.
Yeah.
Screen Factory does, bro. I just bought the cut of Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Black Christmas for them. So.
Oh, that's a great one too.
So, yeah. So
That's
Silent
nice.
Night, Deadly Night had they have a unrated version and then a regular version. Yeah. So.
And you have both.
I have both. Access to both.
Tight.
That's fire, bro. That's fire, man. Shout out to the horror fans out there. And I'm glad of this segment. I'm glad this is a thing. So let's go ahead and take that trip and gun it up in the DeLorean. But first, I'd like to thank that all the sponsors who have been showing a tremendous amount of love to Jody's Corner. Like, real talk. Thank you guys so very much.
Thank you.
You sponsors are very important to me. In case you don't know what the sponsors here, well, we have tiers. This is what we have sponsors for. You know what I'm saying? Jody's Corner this is the end game of Jody's Corner. This is basically about employing my friends full time and having them work under me to help us all grow. There's 4 tiers that you can become a part of. Tiers 1 through 4, starting at tier 4 for $4.99 a month. You get access to a sponsors only live stream the last Thursday of the month, on top of having your name text in green and having a special icon by your name. For $9.99 a month, you get all of tier 4's perks, plus you get to vote for a trailer reaction once a week for me to react to. Amazing value there as well. Moving on up to tier 3 for $24.99 a month, you get all of tier 3 and 4's perks, plus you get to vote for any 2 movies for me to review on Jody's Corner, 2 per month. And the Granddaddy King Daddy Xerxes, you get to vote for a TV season for me to watch and review on my channel, and you get to vote for special topics that are on this channel, Jody's Corner Live, Monday and Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. A tremendous amount of value, and I just want to thank the sponsors for it, man. I really appreciate all the love that you've been showing, and I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you very, very much. And without that being said, let's go ahead and get right into the topic. Let's gun it to 1978.
Yes, sir.
Type it in, Jody.
So, Halloween comes out. You guys talked about it on the Horror Pit, on your segment, about how it wasn't immediately take off. It didn't really meet immediate success.
Yeah.
And it actually was on its way out to theaters before it kind of gained some traction.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say that this almost never was a revolution, bro. If it wasn't for those few people who saw the film, this wouldn't be happening right now.
Right.
So, what was it like? Well, you can't tell me what it was like in '78, but what was it like?
First experiencing it?
Yeah,
okay.
For you experiencing Halloween for the first time. And do you remember, can you give me a story of the first time you've ever seen Halloween?
I got one for you.
Yeah.
Middle school. So I was a teenager. A friend of mine, we were at a friend's house. I remember he had the VHS of it. He just put it on. He was like, you guys got to watch this. He didn't really tell us exactly what it was, but it was like Halloween, okay. I had no idea who John Carpenter was then, but I was in the movies, and I like horror movies. And he put it on, and I just remember the opening scene of a little girl, young girl getting killed by a little kid. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Not knowing. And we were just watching, so we were kids, and we weren't even supposed to be looking at it. But our friend's parents was like, yeah, you can check it out. You know, it's a movie. It's not real or anything. So we watched it, and I just remember being enthralled by it, like what was going on. And this psychiatrist determined to stop this kid and keep him locked up and stuff. I was like, this is interesting. And I was scared because I thought it was a real life Unsolved Mysteries episode. I didn't know what was going on. And there were times, it was so low budget, it had this documentary vibe to it. Yeah. So I'm like, did this really happen? Is this a true story?
Yeah.
Because we have no recognition. I have no idea who Jamie Lee Curtis was in this movie, because this is like her first movie in her career ever. I knew who she was, but in this movie, I didn't know I just saw the characters, you know what I mean? So I had no recognition of who was who. It was just the experience. And then the other iconic scene that came up was when, I guess, he escaped. And it goes right to present day when they're going to the sanitarium to see what happened. And all the patients are outside wandering around in the thunderstorm during the rain. And he's like, go up to the gate, go up and move. And I'm like, what's going on? In my mind, I'm like, is this a real thing? Like, did this really happen?
So were you not terrified as a youngster who was probably 12, 13 years old?
I was confused and spooked. Because all I know was this movie was called Halloween. It was on a VHS tape. It caught my interest. I didn't know if it was a true story or unsolved mystery episode, but I was engaged because it had a very good, simple story. And by the end, I was like, oh, okay, so this is who Michael Myers is. I remember hearing the name. So that was kind of like my gateway in. And from that point on, I was just into it because I was like, oh, so this is Halloween. This is the movie that people was talking about. Up until that point, it was just stories to me. I had never seen the film up until that point, but as it was going through, I was like, oh, so this is Michael.
So we're talking middle school for you, and I'm thinking, what's that, 1997, 1998, around there?
Yeah.
All right.
And a friend of a friend introduced it to me on VHS. It seemed like lost footage / unsolved mysteries episode / documentary. It felt very real and very grounded for a low-budget movie. It's amazing what you can do as far as technical storytelling when you have really limited budget. It's amazing what you can do and the resources that you can use to vitalize to tell your story. Man. You don't have to spend a lot of money to grab somebody's attention, and this movie is a great predecessor of it. I'm so thankful for this movie. And that was kind of like my introduction to Halloween, man. I never looked back after that.
That's dope, man. Yeah. Hey, let me ask you, D, man, what was your first experience? First time you seen Halloween, man, and what did it do to you, man? What was it like? What was the setting?
I don't have like a specific incident, but I do know that Halloween, the franchise, has been a staple in the month of October, period. So every October, you're going to see Halloween come on one of those channels. So I know for a fact me and my sister probably sat in the living room and watched all kinds of movies during that month. But the one that always stood out to me was Halloween. Because to me, that one had the best 1 and 2 combo. That one had the best sequel, like the best continuation of one another. Like most of the other Halloween, like not Halloween, but horror movie icons, their sequels are kind of lackluster compared to this series. This was a very good follow-up that picked up directly after the first movie, and it kept that intensity up, and it kept the momentum going perfectly well. And that to me,
How old would you say that you were when you first saw?
I had to be like 6 or 7.
Oh my God!
I had to be like 6 or 7.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause I remember my sister introduced me to Child's Play at like 5. I was like terrified of dolls because I thought they came alive at night.
That's awesome.
Damn. Well, I'm glad that I wasn't really hit with all that, but it is what it is, man. Hey, I really so this movie was made for something like what was it, 100,000 or something like that?
Yeah.
It had a very low budget. I think it shot in like
Dang.
3 days.
The definition of
Shot in
true low
3
budget.
days?
Yeah.
Carpenter
Man.
did most
With
of
all
the
his
work.
friends, and then like the girlfriend
Man,
that
that's
he
dope.
was dating at the time, Debra Hill. Shout out to her, man, and I rest in peace to the late Debra Hill, because she's very much involved in this original movie too. Like even in the credits, they put respect on her name. It was co-written and co-produced by Debra Hill. Man, she focused on the dialogue for all the young girls, and John Carpenter focused on all the story avenues as far as Michael Myers and the boogeyman and the shape. He was building the mythos. She created the dialogue for the teenage girls. So
That's
it was
really
great,
smart.
Man.
That's
it
really
was
smart
very
of
good
him.
representation, man. It was great.
That's really smart of him to use a woman to try to give dialogue to other women, because it
Facts.
makes sense. It gives it more of a realistic, natural
Yeah.
type of feel to it. It
Yeah.
makes you buy into, the story more, and it makes
Exactly.
those female audience members buy into it even more, man. So I got another question, man. I just gotta ask you, man. The way horror films are in 2019 versus the way horror films were made in the 80s and the 70s. Give me the number one difference between 1970s horror and 2019 horror. Ronan, let's start with you.
1970s horror, it was about ideas and creativity, and then just kind of being true to your vision. Just coming out guns blazing, unapologetic, unfiltered. 2019, the genres got more complex.
What do you mean by complex?
Complex. They've dived deeper into the characters. Shock value's still there, but there's actual characters to follow. There's some narrative. There's even some social commentary. You see the fusion of other genres coming into horror. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to reach out to those that wouldn't really so much watch these kind of movies, but you throw a little bit of other types of elements in there, and then you mix it in with the horror. It kind of grabs people's attention. And sometimes you can dial back, and it could just be a regular suspense movie. Sometimes it's not always just straight up horror in your face. It will be like a subgenre, like a hybrid, maybe like action thriller, or maybe like a horror western or survival thriller, or like a cat and mouse movie. You know what I'm saying? Or a home invasion kind of movie, or maybe like an open world like action movie where people are just trying to survive, like a post-apocalyptic kind of thing. You know what I mean? So you have different settings and different dial backs, but things got a little bit more complex, where they're like, well, we got to really give some life to these characters. They're going to perish anyway. Let's give them a reason to care about these people. Because before, they were just like fish bait. Let's throw them out there. All right, they get caught. Now you're just rooting for the bad guy. You know, you want to see how they're going to die. So that's kind of how it was then. But then it was more of the idea of just being creative. Let's see if we got something. If it works, let's continue it. So it wasn't really a money factor thing. That was how it was back then. It was like, all right, if we're going to do a sequel, we have to find a way to continue this and bring this installment back, and to bring this character back, and we have to explain how this character comes back. 2019 sequel is the answer. The answer is kind of really simple: money talks. We made money, let's do it. Sometimes we don't even have a goal or a plan set, but we made money, so we got to do another one. Versus, I have an idea, and when I was making the first one, I had a rough draft for a part 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's very different.
Yeah, man, that's very well said, man. D-Man, what is your biggest difference between then and now horror?
I'm going to piggyback a little bit off of you, and then I'm also going to point out something else. What I noticed is that they took more time in developing their characters. If you really pay attention to the horror genre, you notice that there was more franchises birthed in the 1980s. You have your Freddy Krueger, you have your Nightmare on Elm Street, your Child Play, and things like that. You can't do that. You can't name me 5 super iconic franchises from this era. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This era hasn't.
They're more character. Back then, they're character-driven horrors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
more
Michael Myers,
All
Chucky.
right. Yeah.
It's more franchise now.
Yeah.
Insidious, Annabelle, stuff like that, right?
Like
Yeah.
really, because the only thing you can think about
The
is
franchise you named,
yeah.
though.
The only thing you can think about is the Conjuring universe, and also the Purge. Those are the
Purge,
only two
yeah.
franchises that come to mind that actually.
Happy Death Day.
Yeah.
All Blumhouse, pretty much.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
basically.
Yeah, but
Shout out to them. Yeah.
But Blumhouse is true to roots,
Yeah.
and that's the only reason why they're able to do that because
Facts,
they
facts.
actually true to roots and they make
Happy
good-
Death Day's Blumhouse.
yeah.
Yeah,
Good movie.
Was it good?
Still. Yeah.
the first one is good. I don't know about the second one. The first one
okay.
is watchable, but it isn't something that I would consider like a classic or like a
Joseph
really
would
good
like
movie.
it, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's not evil.
It's not even.
It's
Yeah,
a
I like-
thriller, suspense.
I like the premise of the
Who
trailers.
done it? Groundhog Day, repeating itself,
Right.
trying to get it right. He likes that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll probably check it
No
out.
evil in that. It's fun.
The first
too.
movie-
movie's
show.
good. I don't know about the second one. I didn't see
Yeah,
the
I'll
second
check the
one.
first
Part
one
2
out
has
for sure.
time travel in it. It's crazy. It gets like
Bruh.
very weird, but
Yeah.
you'll love the idea though. The concept.
Alright.
See, that's why I go to concept sequel.
Yeah.
Where, bro?
But I noticed that this era hasn't gave birth to that iconic franchise. That's like, I can't see us 20 years down the line remaking The Purge. You get what I'm saying?
Well, what about this? What about Jeepers Creepers?
Jeepers Creepers.
That Jeepers Creeper monster's kind of iconic, bro, and they had 3 of them.
I wouldn't list that.
Yeah, Jeepers Creepers got he snuck in there. But
Yeah.
yeah, he was able to get in there. And it's
Yeah.
crazy because the director has a lot of like negative light on him.
Yeah, because he's a child molesting,
Yeah.
raping piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised that
He did 2 years in the penitentiary. I think
Yeah.
1 year in the penitentiary, bro, and got out, bro.
yeah, because
he
he
was
assaulted
convicted, bro.
somebody that was on his in one of his movies, right? A kid.
Bro,
Yeah.
he sexually molested a child, and he got 1 year in prison. Oh, what awesome it is to be white.
I said 1 year in prison.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, but-
Jeepers Creepers counts, but freak the director.
Yeah, but then it's
right?
like, think about it: Hellraiser, Candyman, Jason, Michael Myers, Chucky, Freddy Krueger, like I can't remember the Santa character's name from Silent Night, Deadly Night. We can go on. The Tall Man
Scream?
from Phantasm was Scream. Oh yeah, Scream was another good.
Yeah.
Pennywise came out 90s.
And that was 90s.
Well, I mean that's based on a book though.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not talking. Okay,
But definitely Ghostface, though.
Ghostface, yes.
Scream
Ghostface,
revitalized the genre.
Oh yeah, and also, but see, the '90s was kind of different though, man, because we was kind of heading out of the slash era, but they were still kind of true to roots.
Jumping into other genres.
Yeah, it was still
Scream.
true. Because like those millennium horror movies, like 2000
Scream.
and up, is
I know what you
different.
did last summer. Let's go.
Yeah, I know what
Yeah.
you did last summer. I was just about to say that too. But those are like 90s movies that were still kind of true to roots. Like
Gotcha.
the reason Scream was the reason they rebirthed the whole slasher franchise. Like if we keep it in a buck, like the slasher franchise was dead in most people's eyes.
Well,
until
let's
Scream
go
came back.
deeper. Wes Craven reinvented the genre like for 3 decades.
Yeah, pretty
Kept
much.
that shit true to life. Revenge thrillers. Then he started going into the supernatural, and then in the 90s and 80s, he hit the monster genre, and then he returned slashers. You know what I mean? He did what? Ghostface, Freddy, and Last House on the Left, and Hills Have Eyes,
Oh yeah, Hills House on.
and The People Under the Stairs. Then Shocker. Like goddamn, like he
Yeah.
was.
But see,
And that's like every decade he was sitting. And then Last House on the Left, he came out with that Controversy. That was his first movie. People hated it.
What was his first movie? Last
Last
House on
House
the
on
Left.
the Left.
And then when you told me that,
1972.
okay,
Yeah.
the original.
Roger Ebert
The
stood
original.
up for those directors, man. He loved that movie too.
So was the one that I seen
that was a remake.
was
2009.
Was that too pushy for audiences as well?
Yeah, I was there in the theaters when it came out. People walked out, man.
For real? Man, everybody
that
was
rape
rooting.
scene was so realistic,
At the
man.
end.
That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah, because that's
But the
thing.
payoff was so great.
Because exploitation
payoff was
revenge
nice.
films were like very cliche in the 80s. Like they were a thing, but they were kind of like skeptical. Like not too many.
I mean,
people
they were
tried to touch
cliche in the
them.
'90s, man. If you take a look at this freaking movie, like this is all cliche, baby.
Yeah.
Cliche, campy, cheesy,
That's
but
satire,
yet
though.
still
But it's
dark,
self-aware.
menacing.
It's
You love
self-aware.
self-aware though, right?
You think it's self-aware?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's self-aware.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, yeah.
Because-
I'll be right back. They were
They're
talking
self-aware.
about the horror movies of the
you
old.
broke the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
love that.
okay.
I love that.
Yeah,
And
that was tight. That was tight.
horror
That was tight.
fans
That
know
was
that.
tight.
Like the writers knew that. Scream told you the rules and what was happening, and then blankly showed it to you.
Yeah.
And then it actually went down. And the killer, Ghostface, was a horror film fanatic. He had knowledge and knew how to flip the shit, and then watched so many movies and knew how to cover his tracks. It was like the OP of the OP. Like, he had a motive, he had knowledge, and he was a horror film fanatic. It's like, that's the 3 of 3. We got problems.
So we have all of this awesomeness that we're talking about, kind of
jumping
to Halloween, right?
Yeah.
Is that what's going on? So Halloween is kind of what
is the birth child. Oh,
right.
Yeah,
is that what we're saying? So the screams, all the stuff we were talking about,
icon, it birthed the genre. You only had a few before Halloween,
perfect.
And I think we'll mention them because we got to, man. This is a horror genre. You got to talk about Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. You got to talk about Peeping Tom from 1969.
And then who's the lady in the shower in Psycho? Scene? Jamie Lee Curtis's mom.
Janet Leigh.
Fire.
Also Scream Queen. Yeah.
Scream Queen.
I don't know why she took that money. She just wanted that. She just wanted his cock. She wanted that sexy cowboy boy. She wanted that cunt. She wanted to buy him something. Mess around and got slashed up, bro.
Slashed up.
And it's crazy how that movie just flipped on you. You're just following these characters and you're just like, I didn't expect that.
That's the genius. But that's the beauty of it.
That's
the genius of it, bro.
Alfred Hitchcock builds it up and then flips it. Turns it on itself.
Turn it on itself. I am the type of person that appreciates stuff like that. If it's done right, you built her up. I don't want to talk about. We'll talk about that Psycho. When we talk about Psycho, I'll join and I'll have a lot more to chime in.
Sure.
As far as Halloween,
you gotta come with us in the DeLorean.
Yeah, I'll hop in the DeLorean with y'all, man.
And then right before, a few decades before Halloween, you had Bob Clark's Black Christmas, the one you just recently watched. So yeah, and that I could kind of say influenced the Halloween because Carpenter and Bob Clark were good friends. Mm-hmm. And some say there's rumors out there saying that they're kind of loosely connected, could be in the same universe. They both have that ominous tone, that mysterious tone. We never really have like a time setting or a time frame, and the killers are both mysterious.
I'm still stuck on that POV shot, bro.
Yeah,
that POV shot tripped me out because I was not expecting that from that era. I was like, it really looks like he's wearing a GoPro.
Yeah,
like I'm like, is
it's
he wearing
technical,
a GoPro?
Brings like technical levels to the filmmaking, putting you in the perspective of the point of view of the stalker. Like that was never.
That was pretty cool.
And then Halloween did the same thing too, so it's like okay, it's kind of interesting. I can see the
From
similarity.
the mask too.
Yeah, from the mask.
Perspective.
You can see both of them kind of influencing each other, though, man.
But another big thing that I noticed from this era and the one from the past is this era is more blunt with its gore.
This era is more blunt with its gore.
More blunt with its gore.
More shock value for sure.
More like instead, like back in the day, they might like they'll like show like maybe like punch or something or do like reach for the mouth and you'll hear oh, and then like they show his hand and he has a handful of teeth. This era will show you pull the teeth, like pull the jaw or pull the teeth out. Yeah. So they're more like
more detailed, more gory.
Yeah, it's more gory oriented.
Definitely, that's a good thing. That's an evolution, then, right?
Yeah, you could thank Saw.
That's kind of way to pull.
Shout to Saw, bro. Shout to Saw.
In my opinion, you could thank Saw for that because that movie proved that you can actually be very gory on film and people will actually buy into it because they bought into it. How many times?
7?
Yeah,
seven
like
or 8 films. Yep.
Saw was executed well because it had a very good concept and it had like a really interesting villain.
It's smart.
You don't know me, but I know
teaching
you.
valuable lessons and things like that. It was great.
You are unworthy of the body you possess.
It was dope.
It must be rectified. You don't know me, but I know you.
Well, that first one, man, like James Wan, like he's reinventing genres right now. Like that was like a short film, and that came out, and it was like a little small concept. People in the room, tape recorder on the floor, killer with a gun in his hand. What do you do? It was just like solve the riddle, figure it out, puzzle.
Some of those, why I respect John Carpenter in this Halloween movie is because it reminds me a lot of me in Jody's Corner. I wouldn't be here if I didn't just decide to get a camera, turn it on, and just start talking in front of it. No planning, no process. Just, hey, man, you got a camera? I ain't got no professional lights. Freaking, man, I got these house lights in this motherfucker. I use that. I ain't got no really DSLR deluxe camera to look clear. I don't want to look stupid and grainy. I got this cell phone, bro. I got this Galaxy Note 4 that looks pretty darn sharp to me. All right, for sure. I ain't got no computer, though. I've never edited before. I don't even know what editing is. I guess I'm just going to have to do it in one take then. Boom. And then, now here we are now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The DeLorean of Doom, blah, 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 blah. Because it starts from passion.
Yeah.
It's nothing's going to stop you from doing it because you have the will to do it. And I respect that in John Carpenter, man, because he could have thought up 1,000 reasons not to do Halloween.
Yeah.
I'm sure he had 1,000 reasons not to do it. Not enough money. Wife didn't support it. Maybe actors bailed out. Couldn't pay him enough.
Didn't have enough days to film.
It's so many excuses for him to say, I just didn't do it. And we've been having a totally different conversation. All it took was for him to be passionate and focused, and boom. You just really, you got this. And I just got to say, I respect that, man. I think that's a good look for everybody.
Yeah.
And to think about the people that he motivated and inspired as well.
Oh, yeah.
He motivated a lot of other directors. A lot of people
generation.
He inspired a generation. That's very well said.
People still mimic him to this day. As far as their style, like their camera work, their music, they mimic him. Yeah, like people still use synths and electronic scores in their movies today. People still do like those long Panavision wide shots like him, the POV shots like him, that 80s setting like him. Like he kind of laid that foundation as far as like the old school look, like because he was able to merge the past and then today, like, and he created his own world. He broke the rules and all sorts, and he did all the unconventional stuff that no other director was doing. Man. Even when studios said no, he did it anyway. That's why he got rejected. And then he's like, I'm gonna stop making movies, like, because it's not the same anymore. He stopped, and like he's touring now. He's doing I think like musical tours with his son and his stepson, because he's a composer, and he's going around U.S. Touring, playing all his scores live from all his classic movies in front of an audience.
He did that at the Hollywood Bowl.
Fire.
Yeah.
Carpenter live,
at the Hollywood Bowl.
Jamming out, having little rock and roll bands with him and his son playing the theme from Big Trouble in Little China on stage. Halloween, Escape from New York.
Buckets.
Tight. Fire, bro. So that's what he's doing. He's just chilling, man, doing his music thing. He said he wants to get back into directing, but he wants it to be something special. And he said he'll take television or movie, it doesn't matter, because he knows that his fans are genuine. When we see his name on the title, we're going to show up.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just waiting for that project. We're still waiting.
Yeah.
And that's the power of a name and an iconic figure, man. We're still waiting. And
Well
he's
said,
still here
Rona,
with us.
Man. Huge fan.
Yeah.
D-Man, close us out, bro. Just mention a little something. Close us out.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it short. Basically, you know that you've reached a God film tier level when people refer to other people's work as Carpenter-esque.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if basically somebody's referencing you for a new film, and especially if that film is a really good film.
That means you're the standard. You're the bar.
Yeah, exactly. That means you're that top tier. Like, you're up there. Yeah. So, his body of work speaks for itself. This film, if this film never happened, a lot of things never would have happened. We probably never would have had the slasher era, period.
The amount of movies that wouldn't be out is tremendous if we really try to break it down.
Man, people probably even want to try to push the limits that they did and take the risks that they took on film with, like, the levels of going over the top and maybe even getting it cut out of the scene because it might not have reached the movie rating standard. They probably wouldn't even took those risks if it wasn't for this man. Because he showed them, like, hey, take a risk. It's going to pay off. And it did, too. So
it did.
I applaud that man.
It did. Well said, panel, man. I really appreciate you guys for coming in with that fire, man. And this is the Horror Pit. I mean, / the Legion, the DeLorean of Doom. I'm sorry. I'm thinking Legion of Doom. Fuck. I'm butchering your sheet, bro. I apologize.
It's all good.
But yeah, Ronin segment, the Horror Pit. D-Man segment, DeLorean of Doom.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
2 different segments of dedicated to the horror franchise.
Yeah.
Right here on Jody's Corner.
You're welcome, guys.
Yes. Yes.
Don't forget to comment and tell us some movies that you guys might want us to go ahead and revisit.
Yeah, you guys have Twitter handles, Instagram. What's going on?
I've been telling that E-Man to create one. I don't know if he has yet.
Did you get one?
He's gonna be
Yeah, that's
right, for sure.
D-Man.
All right.
Yeah, the cool one. You got Twitter?
Working on it. I think it's at Cold Cuts. I think
Cold Cuts?
Okay.
Same thing that I'm in the comment
All right,
section.
at Colt, C-U-L-T, right?
Yeah,
C-U-L-T, C-U-T-Z.
Yeah.
At C-U-L-T, C-U-T-Z. Ask him your questions.
Yeah, you guys know where you can find me, Ronin Joe Genji 85, and hashtag DeLorean of Doom if you have questions or anything like that.
Boom.
Or comments.
Even just leave it in the comment section.
Yeah, that
Boom.
too. Same thing.
Section.
Boom,
Do it, man.
There it is there. The DeLorean of Doom, the first episode targeting back in the past, Halloween 1 and 2, starting in 1978. John
Great
Carpenter,
Scott.
you're the man. I'm Jody Joe, Ronin Joe Genji, D-Man.
Adios.
We out this thing. Deuces.